Secured overnight financing rate at 3.72% April 15th versus 3.66% April 14th. IMF says energy shocks caused by Middle East conflict likely to hit Asia's economies more than those of other regions. And IMF projects Asia's economic growth to moderate from 5% in 2025 to 4.4% this year and 4.2%
Welcome everyone to the Pro Trader Room
in
Plus.
2027.
Unemployment claims, Philly
In
Fed.
more scenarios where
My name is Lee Goldstein, the trading director for 10-minute trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss for educational purposes.
Asian central banks should look through energy shock, but tighten policy if inflation
All right, folks,
expectations become
let me know you can hear me. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, thank you. Let's see what we got going here today. So we've got unemployment claims and Philly Fed. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at March 19th, the last time we had unemployment claims with Philly Fed. So using a gold trap trade, that's what we've been looking at for this setup. It's an 8:30 setup. We are streaming. And it looks like a slow response initially. And then looks like it might go down. Is it going to fill? It was a very, very, very negative day on gold that day. $290 down. Wow. And we did not get a fill. Missed by, I'm guessing, about 10 ticks. So that was a Philly Fed with no fill. Then we have a February Philly Fed unemployment. Similar setup. Not using the NQ these days. So with a trap trade, the orders are generated 5 seconds before the news comes out, generally. Now there was a fill. Gold was a much more normal day that day also. Both tiers got filled, both orders. So then, and then it just blew through. Blew through the trap. Blew through the trap.
Every meeting is live meeting. A lot can happen until April 30th ECB policy.
That happens.
Energy price
It
developments
happens.
are not far from
Sometimes it doesn't
baseline, but
work.
moves are volatile and uncertain. I've not
Now,
seen
it
large
was a
second-line
great
inflation attacks
reversal. The
materialize,
question
but
was,
firms may begin adjusting prices
it
quicker than in
went too
past
far
when
through
recently
our
experienced with
stop. That
inflation.
was the problem. It just went too far through the stop.
As a reminder,
So we always talk about the two things that can happen with a trap trade.
Hegseth
The two worst
urges
things.
Iran to choose wisely on a deal with
One,
the US.
you get stopped. That's the worst thing that can happen. You get stopped. Two, you don't get filled. And that's not really the end of life if you don't get filled.
Hegseth tells Iran, we know what military assets you are moving out.
All right. So we've got one that didn't fill, one that didn't work. So certainly you could say there's some inconsistency on this particular setup. The unemployment has never been a favorite report in general, just as far as favorite reports go. It's never been one of our favorites.
Hegseth says that the US is reloading with more power than ever.
So there's quite a bit of news data. Quite a bit. I'll probably have to keep the data off to the side. It's just too much news. So I'll keep it off to the side. But I just want to show you all the data. So you have Philly Fed. Philly Fed usually is higher than they expect.
Hegseth says
The Philly
Iran
area
might say
is
that it
healthy.
controls the Strait of Hormuz, but it has no navy.
And then you have the jobless claims looking at
We have put out the video of
213,000.
Hegseth on the feed for you to watch as well.
And then continuing
Hegseth
claims,
says threatening to shoot commercial
1810.
ships is not control, it's piracy.
So we shall see what we shall see, unfortunately. The new formatting on investing.com, I hate it so much. I just hate it.
Hegseth says energy industry not destroyed yet. US blockade is shutting down exports. Let's keep an eye on the movements in the S&P 500. It's a tiny bit of movement here to the downside on the S&P 500. Not so much, but just keep an eye on it. Hegseth says for as long as it takes, we will maintain the blockade.
All right, let's see what we got going here. Looks like we can put the news up. So I'm going to trade the trap.
Traffic going in and
I
out
will
of the
trade the trap
because it has a navy and Iran does not anymore.
I would prefer if Hegseth was done spewing whatever it is he spews. But unfortunately, he's spewing right now, so that could be affecting gold. So you want to keep that in mind. That's adding some risk. Let's get the right DMM going. Let me get rid of the old one. And let's out with the old, in with the new. Out with the old, in with the new. So I'm not making any changes. We're staying with what we have. Staying with what we have. 40 and 75 on the tiers. So it is a trap trade. So you're going to right click the chart, click strategies, click trap trade. Position 1 is tier 1, one contract. Position 2 is tier 2, one contract. And then we have an activation time of 8:29:55. 8:29:55. And the stop is 25. Tier 1 is 40. Tier 2 is 75. I don't think we're going to get as big a move as we've seen. I think the markets are just right now a little bit less volatile, subject, of course, to change. And this label is Trap GC. Trap GC. And I'm going to work on account number 35. The account I used this morning. I did have a small stop on a unlucky fill. So one more time on the trap. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. That means you have 2 tiers and you have 1 contract on each tier. $8:29:55 on the activation time. That's when the orders go on the chart. 25 on the stop. Tier 1 is 40 ticks. Tier 2 is 75. And then I'm trading it in a prop account, account number 35. Gold definitely might be responding to the Hegseth briefing.
Hegseth says that the US is launching Operation Economic Fury.
All right, so that's our trap trade. We're quite in the middle of highs and lows on gold. I do have a magnet on the chart, high of day, low of day, gold magnet, highlighting it, high of day, low of day. Position 1 is a 1. The target is -3. That always means that's default. The default magnet target means that you're going to exit 3 ticks before you reach the magnet. That's what that means. Exit 3 ticks before you reach the magnet. 35 on the stop. We'll put it on the same account. It's labeled GC Magnet. If you want to program your magnet buttons, you've got 2 trading buttons that we would consider using on the magnet. One is a reverse continue built into the magnet. So you just scroll down to the reverse continue setup and you can program a reverse continue inside the magnet. And then the reverse continue long, reverse continue short button will use this trade setup. So if you had a 1 position trade, for instance, with a 35 tick stop and a 35 tick target, that's the programming of the button. You also have other trading features you could use. Target 1 stop move. You can use up to 3 positions. You can trail. But a simple reverse continue just requires a position and a contract,
choose a deal which is within your grasp.
a stop, a 35 tick stop, and a 35 target. And then we'll do that in the same account as the trap, and it's labeled GC Magnet. Apply it and OK it. You can also program the signal buttons if you want to, and that's ARS management. Position 1 is a 1 contract. Target 1 whatever your target is,
Top U.S. General Kane says U.S. forces are ready to
and the
resume
stop.
at a moment's notice.
How many ticks you want your stop to be. So I've got one position, 35 target with a 35 stop. So that's how my ARS Enter Now button is programmed. So when you turn on the magnet, if you were to press reverse continue short, it would do that one contract short, 35 target, 35 stop. And then if you do long, it does the opposite.
Heading to or from Iran's port.
If you get a signal and the ARS Enter Now button changes color, it means you can use that button to trade the signal. I always put a reverse continue
in Iran's territorial seas
on the chart waters as well, just because I like to. So if I have a gold reverse continue on my trap trade chart, it's a strategy. Click News Trader to put it on the chart. Change the breakout to a reverse continue.
Any vessel attempting to provide support to Iran.
Position 1, I'm trading one contract, 30 target, and a 30 stop.
According to 3 Lebanese officials, there is no call planned between Lebanese president and Israeli PM in the near future.
That's what I've got programmed as a reverse continue. It's labeled GC reverse continue.
So again, Kane says blockade applies to all ships heading into
same account.
Iran's ports, and says that this includes dark fleet vessels carrying Iranian oil.
So now if I turn on the reverse continue,
US administration
I get my instant long, instant short button.
Prime Minister. That's according to 2 Lebanese officials.
And for this trade, I'm going to look at, I'll turn on my trap first. Generally, when you have a trap trade, you should turn the trap trade on first. So you get the trap trade buttons across the top, and they are the first buttons generated. So trap on, right? The button you're most interested in is the cancel outer tier button.
Q1 growth was stronger than we had forecast, but its economy still relies much on exports. Domestic demand remains.
You would like to see that button always with a trap trade, because if tier 1 gets filled but tier 2 does not, tier 2 or bracket 2 will be in the way if you eventually want to move your stop to safety, if the trade allows the reversal and the opportunity to move your stops to safety. If both tiers are filled, it's not an issue, and you don't need the cancel outer tier button. That's what that button means. The break even button, all of our trades have that break even button at the top of the chart. Closes the trade.
Can't reply on export-led growth going forward.
Adjust is something we don't use anymore on the trap trade.
Going forward, needs to rebalance.
But the cancel outer tier we do use. And that's used if tier 1 is the only one filled and then the reversal takes place and you want to move your stop to safety, that second order might be it will be in the way. So you cancel the outer tier and it gets that order out of the way. But you don't do that until your reversal has really started to take place. So for this particular trade setup, I've got my trap trade on first and then my reverse continue. We're looking, I don't really like the NQ on unemployment. So with the MGC, I would probably keep my 40 low. I want to get filled, Roz. So I don't want to make my first tier bigger. I think the first tier is big enough. But you can make your second tier 80, and then I like the stop of 40 is fine. I think
Top
that's fine.
General Kane says vessels will be boarded for interdiction and seizure transiting to or from Iranian ports.
And
Kane
then,
says if you don't
like I
comply with
said,
this
the
blockade, we will
NQ,
use force.
we can watch it. It's ripe for magnets because it's right in the middle of everything. It's also
10 minutes ago
pretty
now,
ripe
to the
for a
bottom of the hour,
VWAP
we got the
magnet,
weekly industry jobless claims
depending
forecast
what you like to
213K,
trade
prior
as a
prior
second instrument. You could
219K,
watch
with a
the
range of
ES
230
on
to
unemployment.
200K.
The
And
ES
the
could have a
continued
decent
jobless
move.
claims forecast 1.81 million, prior 1.794 million, with a range of 1.845
Right
million
now, the
to
markets are
1.7
in the middle
to
of their
1.77
ranges.
million. At the same time, we get the US Philly Fed Business Index forecast 10, prior 18.1. And ECB's
Tier
CPC,
1, I think
get some
40
comments at
is
8 o'clock,
fine.
right?
40,
On
45
schedule there.
is fine.
Also, shortly after the
45.
initial jobless claims
45.
data, we get comments from Feds Williams.
The little bit of worrisome here
General
is
Kane
that
says
gold
13 ships have made
is
wise choice
volatile
to
at the
turn
moment.
around.
That's always a concern. It's always a concern. I might go with a slightly bigger, a 30 stop. You can always shrink the stop. You can always shrink the stop.
Kane says
The
as of
software is
this
going to
morning,
adjust the
military have
stop
not boarded any ships.
and make sure that the stop is not in between tiers. But I don't mind using a 30 stop on this. Whoops, not on the reverse
Goldman
continue.
Sachs now expects the RBA to raise rates 2 more times.
On the trap.
So again, Goldman Sachs now expects the Reserve Bank
The
of
software
Australia
is
to
going
raise
to
rates 2 more times.
adjust the stop to make it
We
correct
also
and
see
safe.
RBA terminal rate at 4.6%.
So tiers of 40 and
4.35%
75.
previously.
Stop of 30. Position 1's a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Trap, I like to turn on first so I see the buttons that I want to see. And then ES or NQ or MNQ. MNQ 0626. In the middle of all the ranges, I'm going to put a reverse continue on the MNQ. I'll tell you what, let's do something we don't normally do, just because. It's always good to learn. Let's put a magnet on the MNQ. High of day, low of day. And we'll do 2 contracts. Target -3 default. Stop of 100. And we'll program the reverse continue button. And we'll program the ARS management button. So if there's a signal we love, we'll make that a 2 contracts, 75 tick target, 100 tick stop. If the reverse continue, if we just want to use the buttons, 2 contracts on our reverse continue, stop is 100, target 75, and the MNQ, you're going to label it MNQ magnet. And let me see where I want to trade this. So I lost one of my accounts because we got another account funded yesterday. I have to look into that. Make sure it was correct. Let's trade this in account number 39. Account number 39. So our MNQ, we're going to program it into account number
5 minutes ago
39.
now to get the initial jobs claims data. Forecast 213k prior 219k.
MNQ
Continuing jobs
magnet
claims forecast
is
1.81
labeled
million prior 1.74
high of day, low
million.
of day,
And US
2
Philly Fed Business Index
contracts,
forecast 10 prior
100 stop.
18.1. He speaks Kazakh, so he's due to
We've got
speak,
all the
and
buttons
Feds Williams is
programmed.
due to speak at
All right.
8:35 a.m. Eastern Time. So with Feds Williams giving keynote remarks at the Federal Home Loan Bank
ARS
New York
management. If
Metropolitan
there's a
Club.
signal that I want to
Text
take,
and
2
moderated
contracts,
Q&A are expected.
75 tick target, 100 stop. If there's a reverse continue I want to take, 2 contracts, 100 stop, 75 target. Did I say 39 on the account or 29? 39 is what I said. So that's where we'll trade it. All right. So make sure your chart's on the correct chart. 39. Make sure the magnet is on. High of day, low of day. Orders above 75 is my long. Below 60 is my short.
IMF's Sivasan says Bank Japan can look through first round of shock.
39. And then our gold trade is on 35. So we're ready to go. Let's see how it goes. Spread the chart a little bit.
Senior IMF official says no nation in Asia have asked for new IMF program to cope with strain from the Middle East conflict. Lebanese president tells Secretary Rubio he won't speak to PM Netanyahu. It's according to LBCI. Also, IMF's Srinivasan says
Now, I
Bank Japan
don't really
can
expect a
continue
giant
withdrawing
move, but
accommodation.
if we put the magnet auto mode on and we get a test of the high or low on the MNQ, let's just let it trade, but I'm going to be paying attention to the gold trap trade. Normally with a trap trade, we usually give it about a minute. And the idea with a trap trade is there's usually a move in the initial direction. If the trade doesn't fill in the initial direction and it reverses, then you don't let it fill in that reversed direction because that's a trap trade where the tiers were too small. There are occasions where you'll break that rule, but generally that's the rule of a trap trade. You get a move in one direction initially. If it doesn't fill you in the opposite direction, you don't let it fill you in another different direction because that's your reversal. And if you didn't get filled on the initial move, it's because usually the tiers were too big. And sometimes it happens. Sometimes the tiers are just too big. It's not the end of the world.
10 seconds.
So our orders are going to show up.
Order submitted.
Shrink it down a little bit.
207k, 207k, lower than forecast for 213k, prior revised to 218k from 219k. Continued jobless claims 1.818 million, 1.818 million. That's higher than forecast, or
So look,
1.81 million. Prior
this is a
revised to
very, very
1.787
tiny
million,
response
1.794
to this
million.
report. It's like
Philly
no
Fed coming in at
response.
26.7,
This is like no
higher than
response.
forecast of 10.
So there's no trade here. There's really no trade here, folks. We are just seeing, we're starting to see big differences in the market reactions. Would I let this fill long? I might, because gold's been moving up a little bit today. But again, it's a minute. Normally we wait a minute. If we don't get a fill, we cancel the trap trade. Those are the rules. It's more than a minute. Gold might be changing direction too. We don't know. I'm going to let it fill. If it fills long, I'll give it 15 more seconds, because it's really now outside of the trap
Central
trade.
Command Admiral
All right.
Cooper says he met with
The trap
Israeli Chief
trade
Defense
didn't
to ensure
fill. Our
that we
tiers
remain
just
closely
aren't.
aligned, and we do.
They're too
Reminders
big.
from the past,
They're too
we've
big,
had
so I would
comments
cancel this
that
trap trade. It's
the
just a
Israelis have their own
non-event.
separate
Order
operation
canceled.
to
That's a
the
non-event. And it's not like we did something wrong. We have to just look at this event with a different eye, maybe for smaller gold moves.
US
It
Treasury
was
yields
not
rise slightly after data. Yield on
a
10-year
great
Treasury notes last flat at
anything,
around
right?
4.282%.
But we used to have tiers of 25 and 40, 20 and 35. We can go back to our previous tiers and see if that'll work. That adds a lot of risk, because you see what happens with gold. We had one candle before the trade, and it wasn't that long before the trade. You had a 40 tick candle. That's not inconsequential, right? It's not inconsequential. If our tiers would have been a lot smaller, we would have gotten filled long. We would have gotten filled long. Okay? But they would have had to have been quite a bit smaller, and you would have had to wait longer than we normally would for a trap trade to get filled. So we would have had to
Defense Secretary Hegseth
ignore some of our rules to see if there was a profit. So it just wasn't the proper move for a trap. That's just the way it was. So you're not going to cry about it. You just move on. That's all. You move on. Next. That's what you say. What's next? All right. So honest. It's just not that big a deal. Many trades will have small moves. There is manufacturing production and capacity utilization today at 9:15. We don't even watch that these days. It just really hasn't responded at all. So now I'm going to turn off my MNQ. The markets, you know, the MNQ is bullish. Gold's bullish. I definitely did not want to be filled short on gold. But we just didn't get enough of a move. It's the way it is. There's nothing we can do about it. We didn't get enough of a move. Of course, it's frustrating. But we didn't do anything wrong, and that's very important, that you just You follow your rules, you follow your setups, you do what you're supposed to do, and you just go on to your next event. That's what we do.
Feds Williams says longer shock could raise inflation and dampen growth. Job market largely stable, some signs of softening. Also, Feds Williams
All right.
says that underlying inflation moving in the right direction, policy is well positioned to balance risks. Long-run inflation expectations remain well anchored.
So now I'm
Already
going to
seeing
put
pass-through to non-energy prices. War has
the
introduced
YM in
substantial
the middle.
risks and uncertainty. War could result in large supply shock to the U.S. economy.
YM making a new high at the moment. All right, we're going to change our YM, our MNQ magnet, to a YM magnet. So we'll highlight the magnet.
So Feds Williams says he expects unemployment rate to stay between 4.25
Right now I'm
and
going to leave it
4.5%,
off because the YM's
and
making new
projection will
highs
return
at
to
the
2%
moment.
target in 2027. I expect
Position
inflation to peak
1,
2.75 to 3% this year
default
on energy
negative
prices.
3.
I see 2
Position
to
1, 2
2.5
is a
energy
1
peak rate this
also.
year.
And
Labor
we'll
market
do
is sending out mixed signals. Fed rate control system is
10
working very
ticks
well.
through the
I
magnet.
expect tariff impact
And
on
then our
inflation to
stop
wane
at
this
the
year.
moment is going to be 40. This is for our market open magnet, and I'm not ready
And
to
Williams
trade that
says Middle
now.
East war is already lifting
We'll
inflation.
label it
And amid challenges, monetary
YM
policy
magnet.
is well positioned.
We
Hexet
will label
says
that.
Iran's supreme leader is believed to be wounded and alive.
And we've been trading that YM magnet in a variety of different accounts. 67 is a funded account that we've been working on. So we'll trade that on 67 for the YM magnet. And I'll put a reverse continue on the YM magnet also. Whoops, not another magnet. News trader, change the breakout to reverse continue. One target, 35 and 35 like we do most mornings. And we'll label that YM reverse continue. And then we'll put that in YM reverse continue. YM reverse continue 67 is the account. It's labeled. So right now we have a 35 tick target, 35 tick stop, and it is labeled apply it, okay it. So we've got our YM reverse continue and our YM magnet. Right now the YM's making new highs and new lows. Now also turning on, enabling. Enable the magnet first so you always see the buttons, and then you can enable your reverse continue. And again, you can program the buttons inside the magnet if you want to. Highlight the strategy and then go to your button programming, ARS management. So let's say we have one contract, a 30, let's go a 40 target with a 40 stop. All right. And then let's program the internal reverse continue. We'll do two positions, two contracts, one position with a 35 tick stop and a 25 tick target. So we have our
IMF
buttons
official
programmed.
says they're still advising China to allow more exchange rate flexibility to help rebalance
And
the
then you
economy
can
and
turn your
strengthen
magnet
domestic
back
demand.
on and watch it. We can watch it for a while. Right now, the YM magnet Right now, the YM magnet is just being watched. It made a new high, so right now I'm not set up for a trade. Maybe that the VWAP is our place for today. The VWAP is a nice distance away. Maybe we'll target the VWAP. Let's see how the YM moves. The problem is the YM is bullish at the moment. Looking at the YM on a 30-minute chart, let's say, 15-minute. It's gotten pretty bullish. Okay, maybe, they're thinking again, maybe the war is winding down. I'm not so sure that's the case, but we'll see. We don't know.
IMF official says China's yuan strengthening in line with market forces reflects fundamentals
It's a
and
pretty
increasing
tight
trade
range
surplus.
for the market today. Pretty tight range. All right. So at the moment, the YM is bullish. Overnight, it was
Hegseth says China
consolidated.
assured us it won't send weapons to Iran during
And then it
ceasefire.
made a low very early, like 5 in the morning. It made new lows. And it's been bullish since. There was a little flush at 7 o'clock. And since
Charles
then,
Schwab
it's
to
been
launch
pushing
spot
up.
crypto trading in the coming weeks.
All right. So I would say the YM is bullish. So the VWAP is not a great magnet, right? It's far away. It's not that far though, if you think about it. 721. It's only 60 ticks. It may be good. It may be better than I think. It may be better than we think. Right now, I'm not taking signals. The VWAP may be the spot to target at the open. So we'll keep that in
That
mind.
concludes comments
Not
from
doing it
Hegseth.
yet. If I want to do it, I would change off or HOD, high of day,
Senior IMF
to
official
manual
says,
entry
our advice
price,
to the Bank of Japan is to be
and then I would
data-driven
target the
and
VWAP,
gradually start increasing rates going forward.
and I would put my order where I want to get filled. And that would be my VWAP setup, okay? And if you hover over the magnet entry button, it shows you that 729 is my fill, and that's not a very big profit. All right? Right now, we're going to turn it off. High of day, low of day is going to generate orders because we're at the high of day. We're still making new highs. Still making new highs. So
Senior
we'll
IMF official says Japan
turn
needs
on
to
our
implement targeted
reverse
fiscal support
continue,
and
watch
use
the
its buffers
market
wisely.
for a little bit, and make a decision as we get closer to the open. RTY, we'll put our reverse continue on the RTY. Click News Trader. Reverse continue. One position, our usual. We do it a lot like the YM, 35 target, 35 stop.
It's a reminder that we're still expecting the Q&A with Feds Williams. There isn't a
Label
live
it
video for this. It's an
reverse
information event.
RTY, reverse continue. RTY, reverse continue. And we're in our funded account 66. So that's our RTY, reverse continue. RTY in a very tight range this morning. We could put our range trade on, click News Trader, click Range Trade, the setup. First, I go to optional and turn off show vertical line on entry. Turn it off. Our range start time is 9:25:00. 6 ticks above the range, 6 ticks below the range. Show the range graphics on chart. That shows the range. Label RTY range. Account 66. That's our funded account. And then our range end time is 9:30:00. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 10 ticks. Target 2 is 20 ticks. And the stop is 35 ticks. That's our range trade. You can save that as a template so you don't have to type it every day. So you would apply that and then go to template, save, and then type in RTY range and give it today's date so you know when you set that up. And that's our RTY range trade. 9:30 it ends. Targets of 10 and 20. Stop of 35. One thing I forgot. Target 1 stop move BE. If we hit our first target, we go to BE. So you might want to save the template again. You would apply it, make the change so it gets taken. You go to template, save, find the name of the template you just did, and then save it. And it'll ask you, is it okay to overwrite it? And you say yes. So I'm going to load my template in for the range. So I'm going to just redo it. Load my template. Here's how you load a template. Click News Trader. Go to template. Load. Find the template. I called it RTY range. RTY open, I called it. I right click it and rename it with today's date. Today's the 16th. And then when I load it, it also saves it. Okay. Our end is 9:30, 10 and 20 on the targets, BE on the target 1 stop move, 35 ticks on our stop. The range starts at 9:25:00, 6 ticks above, 6 ticks below. Show the range graphics on chart. Label RTY range, and I put it on 66. 77 Sunset Strip. Bam, bam. 66 Sunset Strip. So now we have our range set up. And you can turn it on. Make sure your chart is on 66. And our RTY reverse continue. So the only thing we haven't done is looked at oil. Left chart, oil CL 0626. Oil pushing up, putting a reverse continue on the chart. Let me get rid of everything that was on the left chart. Remove, remove, remove. News Trader, change the breakout to reverse continue. Let me just start over here. Okay, right click, breakout. We're going to change it, reverse continue. Position one contract oil, 20 tick target, 25 tick target, 25 tick stop, and we'll work on that 35 account.
Reminder at the top of the hour, ECB Schnabel is due to speak.
CL reverse continue. All right.
So ECB Schnabel speaking DC at the
Account
event
35
called
we
Future
said.
Economic Architect of the Eurozone.
So
Be
that's
at the
an
Peterson
oil
Institute for
reverse
International Economics.
continue. Make sure chart trader is on that account. And we could turn it on if we want. I'll put a magnet on oil. High of day, low of day. Position 1 is a 1. -3 is default target. 3 ticks. You know the routine. If it gets 3 ticks before the magnet, it goes out. Exits. 25 on our stop.
Feds Williams says, I see a powerful dynamism in New York area economy. According to
Label it
SZ
all the way
newspaper
down.
reporting,
CL
the SJ is
magnet.
prepared to participate in a potential mission to secure Strait of Hormuz, contributing
All right.
to
CL
demining
magnet.
and maritime civilians.
We're in account
Again,
35.
Germany prepared to participate in a potential mission to secure Strait of Hormuz.
We can
contributing
program
to
our
demining
buttons.
and
Position
maritime
1 is a
surveillance,
1.
according to SZ newspaper
Stop
reporting
of
that.
30. Target of 25. So our reverse long, reverse short button is programmed inside the magnet, and you could program the signal. Position 1 is a 1. 20 tick target. 20 tick stop. Go down, apply it, okay it if you're done. You can just check everything. Position 1 on the magnet, -3 target, 25 on the stop. So now when you turn on your magnet, you have your potential orders. Above 60 long. Below 60 short. Below 50 short. Not
We have posted
expecting
the
a
video
90
speech
tick
labeled on the
drop
feed to watch.
to get short at the moment. But I'm not trading. Notice I'm not going to trade the breakout. Not going to trade the breakout. It hasn't been working. It's really been working poorly. So I don't want to trade it. There's no reason to trade it. It hasn't worked well. There's no point in trading it if it hasn't worked well, right? 915 is a way off, a ways off. There is a manufacturing production capacity utilization. That has not moved the market these days. It never has, really. We've tried to trade it for years, and it's never gotten us anywhere. Now, oil magnet to the long side. I'm a little bit interested. We had some good VWAP signals. Oil's bullish. What do you got to lose? It's before the open, so you'd want to stay in. I would stay in probably through the open. The only worrying part of that is very often you get a reversal of the trend at the open. So I'd rather not get filled before the open, to be honest. It'd probably be smarter to wait. We really only had one trade this morning, and it was
Feds
a
Williams says
bad
that I'm seeing a
fill
lot of conversion of
on a
offices into
flush at
residential
7
units.
a.m. that should have been a perfect short magnet on the YM, and it filled me at the bottom of the candle. It had tested the low, so it was just a bad luck fill. So if you think about the incredible damage that has been done to the world with this war, here is something I was thinking about and watching some videos about.
Feds Williams says commercial
Who
real estate
wants to
hasn't
travel
moved
to
more than
Qatar
expected,
now?
and risks
Qatar,
have
Qatar.
declined.
Who wants to travel to Saudi Arabia now? Saudi Arabia is out also now Bye Bye Live Golf Tour, which was, disgusting to begin with. No more Live Golf Tour, it
We
looks
have
like.
posted out the article from Esther
It
newspaper,
looks
who say
like
German
if
armed
you
forces
look at the
prepare for
region, you
minefield
now
entering
have
Hormuz.
a destruction of all tourism. Who's going to want to go there now? No one. Damage to infrastructure. It's incomprehensible what has happened here at the moment. But I think Qatar's going to ask for their plane back. They're not, no one wants Iran to have nuclear weapons. Nobody. So there were negotiations that were going on and then we bombed them. During negotiations, we bombed them. So, it's all how you look at it. Nobody wants them to have a nuclear weapon. But I thought it was obliterated, actually, Calvin. It was obliterated. Look up obliterated in the dictionary. Obliterated means destroyed with not a trace. So we obliterated. There was no threat. All intelligence that anybody reads, that anyone has shown, is showing that there was no imminent threat. That's what everyone is saying. Everyone on both sides of the aisle. There was no reason you couldn't keep negotiating. As difficult as they are, kicking it down the road might have been a little bit smarter than destruction of the complete Middle East economy, Asian economies. So, we're not going to agree on how it should be done, but we do agree that they absolutely should not have the weapons. And they were obliterated. So the first step is you need a government that tells the truth. That's step number one. You can't have a government in power that doesn't tell the truth. So that's a big issue. And, Hillary and Kamala, I mean, Biden, I'm not a fan, dude. It's also a year and a half ago. It's now not on Hillary and Kamala. Kamala.
Effective Fed funds rate unchanged at 3.64% April 15th.
Israel never stops attacking anybody, unfortunately. I think I'm not going to say what I think right now. We're streaming. Let's watch oil. Let's see if I don't think I want a magnet to fill at the moment of the open because I think it's extremely possible you get a burst up and then a reversal. I don't mind
Just a
putting
reminder,
the
John
magnet
Smith
on
here from
after
ECB Schnabel. The
the
video is on
open.
the feed for you to watch.
Here's the open.
No indication whether
All
text
right.
Q&A is expected for her.
Here's the open. Now there was no burst, and that's why we're not doing the breakout anymore. Now if it decides that it wants to go up big time, I'll let it fill me. I think there's an opportunity actually for a change in direction. You do have negative momentum. All right. You do have negative momentum. Not a lot of volume on the oil open. That's something that I just noticed today. Not a lot of volume on that open. I'm just not seeing a fantastic opportunity here. The magnet, I might be interested, but we don't usually stick around for oil. That's the honest truth. That's not usually what we're doing here now. But you could see there would have been no breakout worth trading. There was no breakout that was worth trading. Nothing happened. I think you got like a no tick candle, right? What do you got? 10 ticks? 12 ticks? Like a 10 tick candle. There's no trade there. Our bracket would have been 15 or 20. 15 or 20 on our bracket.
Germany's Chancellor Merz says
So
Germany must
the
ensure that
trade
debt load doesn't
was
increase.
early when
Also,
oil
according to the
burst off
information,
the
Google
VWAP.
discusses deal for
That was
classified
the
AI
trade.
with the Pentagon.
And we weren't here, so there's nothing we can do about that.
Feds Williams says AI will likely lift productivity rate, but level of increase is hard to say.
So I'm going to get rid of my oil because we don't trade oil past really much past 9 o'clock. So let's go to our MNQ or NQ,
Also
whatever
from
it
the
is you
information in regards
trade.
to Google, the parties are discussing a deal that would permit all lawful use of Google's AI.
So the MNQ, we've had a couple of bad days of market opens on the MNQ. I hope we have a
Google is
better
in talks
morning
with
on
the
the
US to deploy
MNQ.
Gemini AI models.
Nitin trades gold at 9. Let's take a look at gold. 0626 at 9. So it had a
Feds
nice
Williams
move. Looks
says
like it had a
applied
nice
AI takes
move
a long
up
time to impact
at
the
9
economy.
o'clock. He also trades gold at 9:30. Folks, I'm going to take 3 minutes. I'm going to heat the coffee up. I'm taking the mic with me, so you'll hear me heat the coffee up. So chill for 1 minute. I hate cold coffee in the morning. So give me a second.
Intel launches Intel Core Series 3 processors. Feds Williams says AI is going to boost productivity in the US for the next 5 to 10 years. Williams says employers are beginning to be more cautious with new hires. So again, employers are being more cautious with new hires. Williams says AI is not the cause of weaker US labor market last year. We have posted the article from the information. Again, Google and Pentagon discuss classified AI deals as company rebuilds military ties. Just a heads up, we do have Yemen Houthis chief al-Houthi delivering speech regarding latest developments. Of course, if they mention anything about the Bab al-Mandeb Strait, then of course we'll put that onto the feed. But he's not saying anything of importance yet. So it's keeping an eye on Google pre-market, up about 0.36%. In about 10 minutes' time, we get the US industrial production month-to-month forecast 0.1% prior 0.2%, with a range of 0.5 to minus 0.5%.
Okay.
US capacity utilization forecast 76.3%, unchanged.
I assume you can still hear me just
manufacturing
fine,
month-to-month
right?
0.1% prior 0.2%, and US industrial
Test,
production
test,
year-on-year
test,
prior
test.
0.44%.
Thank you. Okay,
According to
okay.
Iran International, senior
Let me
Iranian
start a new
officials were
video.
frustrated with a plan to generate revenue from shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, with little money collected despite expectations of significant income, according to sources familiar with the matter speaking to Iran International.
All right. Bear with me.
So further from this, the effort has produced limited results with only about 60 permits issued, payment requests sent for just 8 shipments, and no funds collected so far, the sources said, citing weak management of the process.
Okay, so new video, market open.
Within the office of Iran's Supreme Leader.
We are streaming.
Discussions have taken place about removing Zolgada from the role and shifting oversight of the file to President Masoud Pezeshkian, according to sources. Feds Williams says there's been a lot of market volatility as investors pass information.
And we do have a market open. We do have natural gas this morning also. And we do have a webinar at noon. The webinar is going to do opens and earnings. Should be fun. Opens and earnings.
Feds Williams says markets have functioned remarkably well.
Welcome everyone to the Pro Trader and Plus for the market open. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director for 10 Minute Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss for educational purposes. All right, let me give you all the link for today's webinar. I'm going to post it on YouTube also.
German government expects inflation to rise to 2.7% this year, according to sources. Also, they cut growth forecast for this year to 0.5% from 1% previously.
Here's the link. We have a lot of people signed up. People love the opens and they love earnings. So I think that that's always good to teach how we go about it. And I promised I would give up some of our favorite earnings trades.
Feds Williams says
so I'll do that also.
Given uncertainty.
And we always show some of our favorite market opens. All right. So we have our MNQ on the left. First off, let's backtrack. We have our YM in the middle. We have a YM magnet. And we have a YM reverse continue. That's for the open. Trading in a funded account. And we're just making baby steps in this funded account. This particular funded account is, well, it's not bad. It's almost $1,000 up. So that's good. Nothing wrong with that. And we've been doing almost exclusively YM magnets, YM opens. All right. Langford, if you're out there, I have not asked you in a long time, how's your YM opening range
Beds
been
Williams
doing?
says, good liquidity
Anyone
levels
trading the
good
YM
for
opening
financial
range,
stability
and how's it
the
been
broader
doing?
economy.
So we have our YM magnet, high of day, low of day. One position, standard target, -3. Position 2 is a 1, so one contract, target of 10 ticks through the magnet, stop of 40. And we said we would trade
Beds
it
Williams
in
says,
account number 67.
Beds Williams says, tax date moves have gone smoothly.
And that's the YM magnet. We have it labeled and we have the buttons programmed. Reverse continue programmed inside. We've got 2 positions, 35 tick target, 2 contracts, 35 stop, 25 target. That's how we have the reverse continue programmed button. 2 contracts, 35 stop, 25 target. And then we have our signals, ARS management, 1 target for 40 ticks, a stop for 40, and a position of 1 contract. That's the buttons for ARS enter now. And then our high of day, low of day, as I said, position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1, target 1 is -3 default, target 2 is 10 ticks above or below the magnet.
Price 0.2%, and US industrial production year-on-year.
Labeled YM magnet, apply it, okay it. Make sure your chart trader is on the right account. Turn it on. YM magnet, YM reverse continue. We're too close to the high of day, low of day at the moment, so I'm going to turn it off. We just keep making new highs on the YM. It's not like it's exploding hundreds of points. And if you notice, we're not getting real good, nicely formed squeezes. There's quite a bit of dark and light interspersed. So not a great moment for a YM trade at the moment. I'll probably wait for the open. I'll wait for the open on the YM. We have our reverse continue.
Between 7 and 7 p.m. to midnight.
If we could drop 20 or 30 more ticks, that would be great to get a high of day, low of day. I'd put the high of day, low of day back on. And then on our RTY, we have our range trade and our reverse continue. Our reverse continue is a simple 1 position, 1 contract, 35 target, 35 stop, labeled RTY reverse continue. And we're in funded account 66. Our range trade, which we went over at length earlier, the range trade is labeled RTY range. Under optional, show the vertical line on entry, uncheck that so it doesn't get in the way. The line's not annoying if you don't like the line. We start the range at 925.00, 6 ticks above the range, 6 ticks below the range. Show the range graphics on chart is checked. If you don't want color in the range drawing, you can change the color inside the box. Okay? That's what the range box color does. And then obviously the line thickness is just the thickness of the range lines. So we start the range at 925, 6 ticks above the range, 6 ticks below the range, show the range graphics on chart. That's important. Here comes 915. End the range 930.00, target of 10, target of 20, stop of 35. Here's that 9:15 industrial production, capacity
Still
utilization,
waiting.
manufacturing production.
Minus
Gold's a good
0.5%,
instrument to
minus
watch on this.
0.5%, lower than the forecast of 0.1%.
A little bit
Manufacturing,
negative on
output
both.
month
A
to month,
little
minus
bit negative on
0.1%, minus
both.
0.1%, lower than the forecast of 0.1%. US capacity utilization 75.7%,
3,
75.7%,
4 tick,
lower than the
5 ticks,
forecast of
6 ticks, gold
76.3%. So again,
moving,
the
6
industrial production
ticks,
coming in at
5
minus
ticks, 4
0.4%, lower
ticks,
than the forecast of
5 ticks,
0.1%. No reaction from the markets
4
despite the
ticks,
update
no reaction.
so far.
That's why we
Existing
don't
prior
trade
revisions
this
coming through.
report.
Industrial production month to month prior revised to 0.7% from 0.2%.
It just,
Manufacturing production
it doesn't
output
work.
month to month prior revised
It has no
to
effect.
0.4%
Has no
from
effect.
the original prior of 0.2%.
All right.
And
So
capacity
our
utilization prior
RTY
revised
range, I rushed through the setup.
76.1% from 76.3%. Feds Williams says that he notes a wave
Start
of
the range
investors looking to get out of private credit.
925.00, 6 ticks above, 6 ticks below. Show the range graphics on chart. Label it RTY range. Choose your account. End the range 930.00. Position 1 is a 1. Position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 10 ticks. Target 2 is 20 ticks. Target 1 stop.
Feds Williams says private
Break
credit
even
issues are
BE.
not broader financial
The stop
stability
is
risk.
35 ticks.
Also, just seeing the year-on-year for industrial production coming in at 2.4%.
And now we'll turn our range on. And I will throw on an RTY magnet. High of day, low of day. I'll probably turn that off. One position, -3, target, 35 stop. Same account. I'm not programming the buttons because we have a reverse continue. Label it RTY magnet. Same account, 36, 66. Sunset Strip, 66. If you want to program the buttons, you know the routine now. Reverse
Feds Williams says
continue,
Fed is
one
closely
position.
following bank exposure to
Stop
private
of
credit
30, 35, target 30,
and to private
35,
equity.
right? That programs the reverse continue inside the buttons, inside the magnet. And then ARS, if you want to trade signals, one position, target of 35,
Germany's
we'll do a
Chancellor
stop of
Merz, from Australia
35.
Motors, says coalition agrees we are in principle ready to provide assistance
Apply
to an
it,
international mandate or
okay
a
it.
mandate from the German parliament.
So
Williams says
RTY
it's harder to
magnet,
see what's happening in
high of day,
non-bank
low of
lending.
day. I'm really not trading it at the moment. Just watching it for signals later. All right. So I'm going to turn high of day, low of day off.
Feds Williams says
All
home
right.
loan bank system is very important.
But we can watch it. We'll let our range trade do its thing. Now on our MNQ 0626.
Stocks
I'm
Europe
going to
600
modify
down
my
6%,
CL
gains
magnet,
session
my
high of
CL
12 points.
reverse continue, and put a CL
Feds Williams says home loan
MNQ
bank
breakout.
system is a
So let's
unique
put our
source of
breakout
liquidity.
on. That's our main trade. And I have a template for the MNQ breakout. Load it. It's called MNQ New Open. We've had 2 stops in a row. 2 days, 2 stops in a row. I have not seen that, I don't think, since we've started trading the open. Going to MNQ New Open, right click it and rename it. Today's date is the 16th. Load it. It's a 35 bracket, a target of 35 and 125. In fact, I'm going to do 40. Stop is 125, and our target one stop move is BE. 35 on the bracket, 0 on time at the moment because we're going to check our bracket. We've labeled it breakout MNQ open. Okay. That's crazy, Nitin, that your trades have been winners. I've had 2 stops in a row, 2 days in a row with the same bracket, same setup. What size stop are you using? That could be the difference. You're using a bigger stop. So maybe we'll go to that bigger stop because I think my stop's a little bit small. I'll let it trade
On the
today.
Nifty's, nothing has come from that sort of significance.
So let's look at our bracket. Turn on the breakout.
Order submitted.
All right, so that's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
Order canceled.
Right click.
Jeremy's Charles Mert says we will discuss tomorrow in Paris.
Put the
whether
time
Europe
back
open
to
is also
9.
necessary alongside
29.59, 9:29:59, bracket of 35. The number of contracts you trade is up to you. All right. Francis, what stop did you use? Target of 40, target of 125, and we're going to go to that bigger stop, 150. You know what? We've had 2 stops. I've had 2 stops in a row. I'll go to 150 today. A little bit bigger on the stop. Target one stop move is break even. BE. Account number 68 on our MNQ. It is a funded account. It's been taking on some damage. So that's our breakout MNQ open. Account 68. Now we're going to modify our CL magnet, and we're going to make that an MNQ magnet. It's already on the chart. Why not just modify it? High of day, low of day. 2 contracts. Standard default target of -3. Stop of 100. Remember, it's micros. That's only $50 a contract.
In a relatively good starting position to deal with.
Change the labeling to MNQ magnet from CL magnet. MNQ. Change the account to 68. And we're ready to go. You could program your buttons, a couple of contracts, 100 on the stop, 75 on the target. That's our reverse inside the magnet. You can do your ARS, couple of contracts, target is 75, stop of 100. All right. So we've got our high of day, low of day magnet, apply it. And we're going to also adjust our reverse continue. It was oil, so we're going to rename it MNQ reverse continue. Change the account to 68. And then our reverse continue, couple of contracts, 100 target, 100 stop.
Voice news disconnected.
And we're ready to go. It's labeled MNQ reverse continue. Apply everything, okay everything. And now we will check all of our chart traders. Checking all of our chart traders. RTY should be account 66 on chart trader. It is. And then RTY trades should all be on 66. RTY range is 66. RTY reverse continue is 66. MNQs should all be 68. Magnet checked first, breakout, reverse continue. MNQ all on 68. YM all on 67. Chart Trader on 67, 68 on the NQ, MNQ. So we're ready to go. All right. Now, I think we can trade the high of day, low of day on our YM open. Did we do the reverse, the target one stop move on the YM magnet? Let's check it. YM magnet. I'm going to make a slight adjustment. YM magnet. Position 1 is a 1, -3 target. Position 2 is a 1. I want to go 20 ticks through. 20 ticks above and below the magnet. The stop is 40. Target 1 stop move BE. That's what I always forget. If we hit our first target, it'll just move the stop to break even. Everything else stays the same. We apply it, okay it. Now we turn on our magnet. High of day, low of day. Unfortunately, we're too close still. If we leave it there, if we move up, I think that might not be bad. Maybe it really is a VWAP morning this morning. Let's see where the price goes. Let's see where the price goes. We have time where we could program into the VWAP, should we want to. We do have time to get there.
So US industrial production coming in at 0.74%.
I don't want to get filled before the open. All right. I don't want to get filled before the open on the YM. On the YM. Putting the magnet on, I think the VWAP. What do we say every morning that the VWAP is a great magnet? If we don't go up, the VWAP might be a great magnet, right? If it decides to go back up, then the high of day is a good
1
magnet.
minute going out to get the market and open imbalance.
So now we're just waiting for the open. Good morning, Mr. Beard.
Ease Wonderland says that we agreed with NATO's RUT to work closely together in the next few weeks to strengthen the EU-NATO relationship and prepare for a successful summit in Ankara, Turkey.
20 seconds to the open.
Less than 10 seconds to go now to the market on open in
Order
months.
submitted. Order submitted. Order filled.
Market on open in
Order
months.
filled.
S&P 500
We
sell
got
side
our
3.3 million.
RTY.
Nasdaq 100
We would
sell
have had
side
our
13.8
VWAP, for
million. Dow
heaven's
30 buy
sake.
side 21 million, and Mag 7 sell side 17 million.
Order filled.
And wow, 3 for me, 3 stops on the MNQ in a row.
Order submitted.
Oh, what the heck just happened on my YM? Oh, the YM got filled.
Order filled.
First target is
Order
hit,
filled.
and it reversed. So small winner, small winner. Looking for a magnet short, possibly on the NQ. I think. Oh my God. I'm $4 shy of, I think, being funded. I think I'm $4 shy of being funded, of being able to take a payout. $4 on the RTY. I'm going to let the magnet take me short on the MNQ if it so chooses. I've done a lot of damage to that
Seeing US listed
account.
shares of Taiwan Semiconductor down almost 2%
Unfortunately.
after Q1 results and outlook. Iran told Pakistan that US must fulfill commitments, as according to Tasnim News. Again, Iran told Pakistan that the US must fulfill commitments. But we've already seen comments from Ghalibaf yesterday. He said on his X post that that needs to be done.
So right now I'm just watching the MNQ for a possible short magnet. Possible short.
So according to Fars News, Iranian oil tankers have transported 11 million barrels of oil through the Sea of Oman towards their destinations since the announcement of naval blockade.
The YM, I think our bad luck was that we allowed the stop to go to break even. Today, if we had allowed the stop not to go to break even, we would have had a very big trade on the YM. And then the MNQ has been painful for me for 3 days. 3 days painful. 3 days painful. Three days painful. YM magnet's been solid. It's just been solid. And the RTY I'm watching, I'm serious. I think I need like a $15 on my funded account on the
Charles
RTY
Schwab
here.
says crypto to offer direct Bitcoin
So
and Ethereum
it doesn't
trading.
look like the MNQ is going to make that low. I don't know if I may have, I'm close, I think, to blowing this funded account. It's a small one. It's not one of the big ones. So it could be in trouble. It could be in trouble. But I have a new funded account, so we'll work on that if this one is damaged. Damaged, yes. And I'm not going to do stupid things with it. So I did get a YM fill. It was late, later than expected. That VWAP on the YM just seems like a great magnet these days. The YM VWAP, it's been non-stop testing, right? It's the problem here is we're too close to it. I think it might test it, but we're too close to it. What do you think? The YM's up though. I'm not sure I want to be taking shorts. That's really That's really the question. Do you want to be taking shorts? The market's pushing. It's pushing up. Now you're getting a signal. You're getting a signal, but it's very choppy. It is choppy. It is choppy. So I don't think I want to take a short, honestly. I just don't think it's already changed momentum. It's changed momentum. Now the MNQ is different because you just get those swings. You get those swings. So I'll let the magnet fill on the
Order submitted.
MNQ for a test of the low. The stop, it has to be above all those wicks, I think. And you never know. Is it going to go? Is it going to do the test? Is it not going to do the test? It is a double magnet. It's the previous open and it's the low of day. And the instrument is not all that bullish. The RTY is pushing down. Now we do have natural gas. All right. We do have natural gas. I'm going to stick around for natural gas.
We have put the article out from Tasman News again. Iran told Pakistan that US must fulfill commitments. And they also emphasized that
I've
the
just been
US
getting
must drop
killed
excessive
with the
demands.
NQ, MNQ. It's just been killing me. It's been absolutely killing me. I just cannot buy a break with my MNQ. So that's going to stop out for sure.
Order filled.
So I believe this account's in big trouble. I believe it's in big trouble. Maybe I'm an idiot for trying to take a short. I'm not, the YM, are we going to get that VWAP test? It's just not enough of a profit. It's only 6 ticks. It's not worth the risk. Definitely not taking the trade because it's too close. And you could see the YM's been bullish all morning. I don't really want to take shorts in the YM. Maybe a YM, another high of day, low of day might be more interesting, right? Another test of the high could be more interesting on the YM. I'm not dying to take another trade at the moment, but if I do anything, it would be another test of the high. Because the YM is, we've been watching it push up all morning, all morning. I'm going to get rid of the range. I'm going to get rid of the breakout on the MNQ. I don't need that setup anymore. I'm going to get rid of the RTY range. I don't need that setup anymore. And the YM, it just missed my fill by 1 tick, and that was lucky because it would not have worked. I think I'm going to wait. We've got a lot of chop right now. Big candle up, big candle down,
China lobbies Spain
big
to sink
candle
EU
up. I
plans
mean,
to
decent
boost its
candle up,
companies.
candle down. I think I'm going to chill for a few
As
minutes
further detail into this, then the Chinese government is
because
pressuring
these
Spain
look
to
like
help forward
difficult
EU
scalps.
proposals aimed
Okay?
at making the bloc's companies more
They
competitive.
look like
according to a
difficult
person familiar with the
scalps, and
matter.
I'm going to wait,
Spanish PM Sanchez met
I think, for
President Xi
natural
Jinping in
gas.
Beijing this week when Chinese officials complained that Europe was becoming too protectionist.
The VWAP still is interesting, you know? The VWAP is interesting, but I just don't want to go short on the YM. It's going to test it. I mean, it's going to test it because it doesn't mean the market's going down. It just means it's testing an area. But I'm just not real interested in taking shorts on the YM. Look at that. Now that tells me something might have just been said. That was a big push down. Now it didn't really follow through. So we made money RTY. We made money YM magnet. And the MNQ has just been killing me all week. Killing me all week. So I'm just watching, folks. Just watching right now. I'm going to I don't think the market knows which way it wants to go. Here comes the VWAP test on the YM. Watch. I think we're going to get the VWAP test on the YM. Maybe what I'll do is I don't want to trade it funded. Change my YM to a prop account that's not funded. Less risk. Turn it back on. Now it's too close. All right? It's too close. High of day, low of day. It's too close. 79, 55. You'd have to take it right now.
Order submitted.
So I took the short in 35 for a test of the VWAP. All right? That's where I took the short. Account number 35, just for a little test of the VWAP. Let's see if it gets there. One tick away. One tick away.
Order filled.
Okay, it got there. It got there. It got there. Not a very big trade. So now the question is the YM, are we now moving down? Are we now moving down? Are we going to test the PP? Are we going to test the PP? RTY, I'm getting rid of. I'm not going to scalp. My RTY scalping skills are not great. I'm removing my RTY. I'm changing that chart to MGC. I need a $20 trade on this account somewhere. I'm going to change my reverse continue to an MGC reverse continue with a target of 60, a stop of 100. Remember, it's micro. Label it MGC reverse continue. And then the magnet is going to be MGC. Label it MGC magnet. Same account. And I'll trade a couple of contracts. Standard target -3. Stop of 100. It's $100 per contract. The buttons 35 and 35 is okay. I'm not going to use the inside reverse continue, but it's also 35 and 35. I'll set it to 2 positions. Apply it and okay it. So watching MGC. Watching MGC on that funded account. Look at this YM. Oh, is the YM going to sell off to the low of day? Is it? Now we're almost too close. We're almost too close. I'll take that trade. I'll take the risk that we're going to test the low. We're only 10 ticks positive now. So it's very possible we get that test. It's very possible. Very nice, Francis. Nice trade. I still think that darn MNQ is going to test the low, but look at the chop. It's really choppy. It's really choppy. I think, methinks, I hate people that say that, methinks. I think waiting for natural gas might be a good move here. We had a winning small magnet in this 35 account that I scalped poorly this morning. No, that I had a bad fill, remember? I had a bad fill. So we made a few bucks back, only about 60. I still think the MNQ is going to test the low, but I am worried. I think I may have blown this account. I am worried.
Order submitted.
It's not blown.
Order canceled.
So I need to be really careful with this account. I'm not going to trade it until I look into it to see exactly where it's at. Let me change the magnet and the reverse continue to a different account if I want to trade it. I can trade it. I just have to do it in the right account. I think we're going to get the high of day, low of day. I didn't really set it up the way I wanted to set it up, to be honest. But I think it is going to go this time. If it does the test, I think it'll get there. It needs to be on account 35. 39, I think, is where I
Order
traded
submitted.
it. So there's our fill. I think it'll test the low now.
U.S. Trade Representative Greer is to travel to Mexico Monday amid USMCA discussions. It's according to Mexico's economy minister.
Order filled.
Okay, there's our low. All right, so we tested the low. Is gold going to test the low?
Order
Just
submitted.
keep an eye on the markets here. Iran's planned Hormuz toll to be paid via Iranian banks, according to ISNA. So again, ISNA reports Iran's planned Hormuz toll to be paid via Iranian banks. That's Iran's ISNA citing parliament official on Hormuz law. So just keep an eye on the markets. The S&P 500 just seeing a little bit of movement towards the downside.
I
on the
don't need
S&P
a
500.
lot out of
A little bit of
gold.
movement towards the upside on the Dixie. Just as we get the headline that Iran's planned Hormuz toll to be paid via Iranian banks, according to ISNA.
I just got my funded account. I want this test of the low. Here we go. I think we just got it easily now with that scalp to the downside. Going to keep trailing. I'm going to keep expanding my target.
Order
I almost
filled.
want that trade over. So I'm going to cancel all the orders on that chart. I just got, I hope I can now
Just
get
keep an eye
funded on that
other
account.
areas. Gold seeing
Get
a little bit
paid
of downside
maybe on that
movement
account.
off the back of the Iran
That should be a
headline from
payout.
ISNA.
That should be a payout. That's very
S&P
exciting.
500 index turning
And then we
negative.
still have the YM.
Bitcoin also
The
seeing movement
YM
towards the
still looks
downside
like
as well.
everything might
There are
be
no other
heading
headlines
down.
to a back of moves other than the ISNA headline.
Do we want the YM to do this test? Yeah, why not? Let it trade it. I'm done trading on my gold,
Order submitted.
right? So here's our fill. We want the first target. If we get the first target, then we go to break even, right? If you think it isn't getting there, you can move your target up if you want to be a baby, right? Might as well
Order
wait.
filled.
So it got there. It got there. 10 ticks. 10 ticks. Tiny trail, tiny trail. I think we're going to get taken out, but expanding the target, trailing. Market doesn't like the Iranian Hormuz news.
Order filled.
All right, we're now positive in that 35 account that was negative. My only problem is the one funded account that got damaged by the MNQ, account 68. Can we work on that account? Should we work on that account? Or am I going to blow that account up if I work on it? If we put our setups back on 68 while we're waiting on natural gas,
According
I
to
know that
US
account is
Moon
close to
Airbus
being
likely
blown.
gave Chinese entity satellite images.
I just know it is.
East Beach Naval says we should have fresh discussion about joint Eurobond issuance.
Putting the reverse continue on 68.
Also, Schnabel adds it's
If
a good time to
you
discuss Eurobonds again.
just control your emotions, right? Control your emotions. I'm removing my gold trades from my funded chart at the moment. All right. I don't want to do anything stupid till I check that account. So this account, I'm hoping for a payout. And now we're watching the MNQ. Nice going, Roz. Nice trading. Nice trading. We're just chilling, watching the markets. The markets decided to sell off.
Mullah
They
adds
did
that
decide
satellite
to
imagery
sell
was
off.
of US military assets. So again, Mullah, commenting in statement on Airbus satellite imagery, says that satellite imagery was of US military bases, or US military assets.
So the news that drove the market down was Iran's planned Hormuz toll to be paid via Iranian banks. So obviously the Strait is the sticking point in this war.
So emerging currency index hits low for the
That's
day
now the
as oil prices
conflict
spike
and the
again,
problem.
off of the
All
back
right.
of the headline that Iran's planned Hormuz toll to be paid via Iranian banks, according to ISNA News.
Right now, I'm just chilling. We're going to get ready for natural gas. I'm done with the RTY, and I'm done with account number 66. That doesn't mean we can't trade gold in another account. So we can leave gold on. We could put our gold back on. High of day, low of day magnet was just made. Should have just left it on. Stop of 75. Target of -3. And then target 2 will do 20 ticks through the magnet. And we'll do that on account number 68. MGC magnet. If it wasn't for MGC and gold, there would be no magnet strategy. That's where I got interested trading gold. And target 1 stop move needs to be BE, break even. Now I'm just chilling at the moment. So we have a gold magnet, and we would put a gold reverse continue on the chart. Couple of contracts. Target of 75. Stop of 75. That's that 68 account I'm trying to save. So my gold trades should be in 68. My MNQs are in 68. And my YMs, we did have a good gold signal. That was not an easy signal to take. That would not have been an easy signal to take. Why? Because it just made a fresh low. Usually, not always, but usually, we get a bunch of lows. Usually we get a bunch of lows. All right? Usually. Now there's a comment. U.S. has signaled optimism about the prospect of reaching a diplomatic end. No response in the market. Pretty much no one believes anything that comes out of the mouths of our government at the moment. There's no trust that anything they say has truth to it. That's a big problem. It's a big problem. YouTubers. We're going to end our stream. We've been streaming for hours. Overall, I would call this a very good morning. The MNQ continues to be our nemesis, however. The MNQ is a nemesis. You have a nice gold long signal here. It's risky. I think it's risky. I didn't take it. My finger was on the button. The problem is the stop is big below the low. I'd rather wait for a better setup.
Treasury gains fade. 10-year yield unchanged on the day.
And right now I'm glad I didn't take
Again,
it.
let's post the Iran headline.
YM making new lows might be a better setup, you know? Let's put the YM Let's put everything on account number 68, the troubled account. And let's wait for a perfect setup, quote unquote. A perfect setup. Right? Perfect setup. So everything's on 68.
Seeing a post from US Central Command about on X about Hormuz blockade.
So we have a long signal on the MNQ.
Central Command says 14 vessels have turned around to comply.
We had a long signal on gold.
Again, US Central Command on X
and
says 14 vessels have turned around to
like
comply
it's
with
failing. And right now we don't have anything because I didn't turn on my YM. Right now we have
China's
a
Prime Minister
YM
Wang Yi
long.
says the priority is to push the US and Iran back to negotiations.
And we have to get ready for natural gas. Honest, we got to get ready for natural gas. All of a sudden now, the tone of the markets obviously has changed. Now, I never closed our YouTube. Graybeard, have a great day, buddy. Have a good day. And everyone on YouTube, hit that like button, please. Let us know you enjoyed the stream. That would be nice. And we'll see you tomorrow. Let me just post. I did post it. Never mind. All right. Thanks, everyone on YouTube.